Sir, welcome to the Hall of Heroes. This is the Honor Cafe Hall of Heroes, and we're doing video interviews and we're writing about our veterans. And
Okay.
and you are an amazing veteran. You're how old are you, sir?
I'm 98 years old.
98 years old.
Yes.
Wow. Where are you from?
I'm from a little town in eastern United States called Cool Spring, Delaware.
Well, when did you?
It's three houses and a gas station.
A question I always ask when somebody's from Texas, I say, do you have a traffic light? And a lot of times it's
Well,
no, we have
there's
a
a
stop sign.
railroad going across there.
Okay. When did you get to Texas?
Well, I was inducted into the Army, and when I woke up and got my thoughts together, I found that I was in Camp Polk, Louisiana, right across the border here.
Wow. So what did you do in the service?
Well, when I first got here, I was in the medical corps
The medical corps. That was the Army Medical
because
Corps.
I was a pre-med student at Temple University.
You're kidding me.
Anyway, I told them very plainly, I don't want to be in the medical corps. And they said, we just put you where we need you. And I said, well, if you will put me where I want to be, I will be a lot more use. And they said, what's that? I said, I want to be in the Air Corps. Oh, well, we don't need to worry about that because we need you here. So I stuck with it.
What did what did you do when you went into the Air Corps?
I, I, I got in by accident. When when they found out that I was a pre-med student, a sergeant came running up there and he said, get your Class A's on and go down to that building next to the battalion headquarters. So I ran down there, and there were about 20 people there. And none of them knew why they were there. By the time they found out that I didn't want to be there, they said, just sit down and we'll talk to you later. So the Army does everything alphabetically. So they start with the Allens, they get with the Bakers, and they get with the Castleberries, etc. So when they got down to the W's, there were a couple of us left. And they said, tell us about your high school experience. So I told them, I played basketball, played baseball, was in the band, played trumpet, etc. Was in the first all-state band that they had. And after there two or three more questions, they said, well, Wagamon, we've heard all we need to hear from you. Just take off. So I got back to the barracks and the sergeant said, well, what did they ask you down there? I said, they just asked me my background in high school, etc. And they said, what's that mean? I said, I don't know, but you'll have to ask them. So he said, well, nothing's going to happen. So we were getting ready to go on maneuvers. So we had new shirts, new leggings, new boots, new helmets, everything. And we were going to be on the maneuvers with the 8th Armored Division, which was stationed at Camp Polk. Camp Polk then, not Fort Polk. Anyway, uh, he said, well, nothing's going to happen from that. So I got all my stuff on, new helmets, new boots, new shuttle, and I was going down the stairs to get on a truck to go on maneuvers with the 8th Armored. And the sergeant came running up and he said, get all that stuff off, turn it into supply, go to the day room. There's a truck going to come by and pick you up. He didn't tell me where we were going, why we were going to pick up. So I just took all that stuff off, waved goodbye to the guys going down the stairs. We didn't whistle or nothing. It just so long. So I got on in the day room, got my first cold Coca-Cola since I'd been in the Army. When you get there, the the freezer box has got a nickel you put in, a Coke comes out. I never got there in time to get a cold Coke, but I got one this time. In fact, I got two of them because I had two nickels. Anyway, pretty soon, chow time coming. Sergeant comes over and says, "You just sit down here and you can go back to the day room when you get dressed." So I ate and I got back to the day room and a truck comes up. Guy does not know why we were going, where we were going, or anything. He was just driving the truck. So after about 20 minutes, he pulled into the rail station, and there were a whole bunch of passenger cars out there. And lo and behold, he said, "What is your serial number?" 3349, 46, and he said, "Get on that car." So I got on, and it was a wooden seated passenger car, about 1917, something like that. So anyway, the whistle blows, we pull out, drive all night, don't know where we were going. Nobody knows where we were going. In the morning, the sun was on the right side, so we knew we were going north. So about 9 o'clock, lo and behold, they pull into a station, and it's the station where Arkansas A&M College is. So we get off, clipboard, get on the truck. We go to this place, and there's a college campus. Well, I thought, golly, what kind of army is this? We're going to college. So we get off, and the sergeant says, "No PT, no guard duty, no KP, just go to class. As long as you pass, you're in good shape."
Did you have any gear with you? You didn't pack anything though.
I had no clue about what that's. So I thought, why in the hell am I going to the Army to go to college? And they said, "You came out of college. We're going to put you in so that we have a groundswell of people who are increasing their college." So I thought, well, basic training, left face, right face, about face.
Yeah.
Now I'm going back to college. And about the second day, a blue convertible comes by, and the guy on the collar has got a wings. So I knew that he was in the Air Corps. So he said, so we came over there, and he said, "If any of you would like to be aviation cadets, be out here at 0700. So I got up early, and I knew there were going to be a crowd. There were 7 of us.
Only 7?
7. So we got on a truck, went to Walnut Ridge, And lo and behold, we passed, and they said, repeat after me. I promise to defend the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
So
So help me God.
they swore you in.
And
You were
they
already in. They
swore
swore you
me
in again to the
into
Air
the
Corps.
Air Corps.
Wow.
So by accident, I got through the Army, didn't want to be in there. Sergeant said, we need you here. Never mind what you want. And I got out of that thing at Arkansas A&M where I didn't want to be.
So where did you do your flight training?
Okay, when I got through the first they sent you to a semester of college, and that was at Texas A&M. Got on a truck, rode down there, didn't know where we were going, why we were there, but we went through the whole thing, and they sent us to San Antonio, where the classification center was.
What aircraft did you train on?
I trained on an AT-11, which is a twin engine, about 165 horse on both sides, and they had a bomb rack in there. They had 10 bombs, 5 and 5. So you trained on those, and they classified me as a bombardier by accident. They classified me as a pilot. I went on KP one day, off the next. KP one day, off the next. About a week of that, and a major comes through there, and he says, guess what? And I thought, I didn't guess. He said, it's going to be 6 weeks before we can send you to primary. And but, comma, you can be a bombardier if you want to be tomorrow. Just sign here. So I went back to the barracks, and the guy said, you've always wanted to be a pilot. What in the hell are you doing switching to bombardier? I said, the Army is famous or infamous depending upon which side of the question you want to be on. And I don't want to sit here and be KP1 often, KP.
Yeah.
So I knew that the bombardier was gonna. So they sent me to Midland, Texas. Very hot.
Yes, it is. Is that where you trained on your primary aircraft?
That's where I trained to be a bombardier. Yes.
What aircraft was that?
It was an AT-11.
AT-11. And we'll show some pictures of it. Actually we're interviewing you at your display in the Hart Museum, and it's incredible to see your box that's right behind you with all your gear. When you after your training as a bombardier, where did you deploy after that?
Okay, after I graduated from bombardier training, they sent me to Columbia, South Carolina. And luckily, it was a place where some of Doolittle's raiders trained. And there was a Doolittle raider there. And I could see him walking in it, but I never got a chance to talk to him. Anyway, got through advanced, and then they sent me to the POE, Point of Embarkation, which was in Virginia. So we're there maybe 6 or 7 days, and then we got on a ship, and it was a single ship, no escorts, no destroyers, no PT boats, nothing. And the ship would go out this way for about 2 minutes, and then it would turn 45 degrees for 2 minutes, and then it would do, and it took 11 days to go from Virginia to Naples, Italy. But they unloaded us, and they said, we're going to send you to a combat unit. So I thought, well, the promises, promises, promises. So I was ready to go through a long wait. 2 days. That was great. They said, get your gear, go down to the truck, and they're going to take you to a C-47. We don't know where they're going. Don't ask. So we got on that thing and took off. And when we landed, we were on Corsica. The French owned that. That was where the famous General Bonaparte came from.
Yeah.
And that was the place. So we got into that and got a new tent, etc. They took away our 45, put it off somewhere else, and that was the last we were going to see that thing till we got ready to come home. We were there about 8 or 9 days, flew several missions up from the Rovereto down that railroad line.
So you bombed the railroad?
bombed
Okay.
bridges
Oh, okay.
to keep the Germans from supplying, because they were down on the boot. They were trying to
So say that again.
hold.
Your flight path. What was your flight path again?
Okay, the flight path was from Corsica across that sea, and we'd go into Italy, and then we'd go up the things, and there are valleys down there, east to west. And lo and behold, there's a bridge down there because there's a water running through there. So we would bomb the bridge to keep the Germans from going from Rovereto, which is right out of the Brenner Pass, south to Italy where all their troops were. So we bombed the bridge, and then after about 8 days, 9 days, they said, you're going to Italy in a little place called Rimini. It's on the east side of Italy. The Brits were in control of that. General Maxwell was uh, on the west side. So we were taking orders from the Brits about which bridge to bomb.
Was there any anti-aircraft going on with the Germans? Were they defending it with any aircraft?
The the Germans were very good at anti-aircraft. They had a gun which they fired horizontally, and then when they needed to, they would tilt that sucker up. It was an 88 millimeter cannon, and they could fuse it depending upon which altitude they wanted. The Germans had a series of defense mechanisms, and they would put up a box, and in that box would be 88 millimeters going off, and the box would move along with you clear up to where you drop your bombs.
So you were getting pummeled the whole time. Did you lose many aircraft?
We lost some airplanes. The last mission I flew, I flew with a man named Cannon, Captain Cannon. And when we got through that mission, we got shot up pretty good. And they said, we think that we want to make you land last and not on the metal runway, on the grass runway,
Why?
because we thought that the perforations of the flak, the 88s, would punch holes in the hydraulic system. And when the nose wheel came down, we thought that it would give way. So when it came down, it would go like this. So we don't want you landing on the metal runway, grass runway. Call out the ambulances, the fire trucks, and all those guys that want to take pictures of a B-25 crashing.
Lord. Oh, man.
Anyway, touchdown, the nose wheel held. So all those guys with the cameras went off.
When you were getting ready to do your missions, what went through your head? Did you think, man, I may not come back from this?
We what?
When you were doing your missions and you were getting ready to go, especially early on, did you ever think to yourself, I may not make it back?
Oh yeah, that they always told us, when you drive away in the trucks and when you wave to us, that may be the last time we see you.
Did you have a letter written in case you died?
I had a letter written, and I still have it.
Do you really?
And my wife has all the letters. 418 letters.
You guys.
We donated them to the library of the college. So
Wow.
So
they
somebody doing research can go back and see what kind of conversation we had one with another.
So you were married. What year were you guys married?
in 48.
And that was right after he came back.
No, I went to college, and
Okay.
let's see, we married at the end of my junior year in college. See, he enlisted for another year and went to the Philippines after this.
Did you fly in the
He went to
Pacific as
Clark
well?
Field in the Philippines.
Did you fly during the when we were fighting the Japanese, or was the war over at that time? Was the war over at that time?
Was the war over at which time?
When he went to the Philippines.
Yeah, I got a pilot's license
It was
and an instrument rating, so I could fly blind or whatever.
yes, the summer of 45.
Yes.
They detonated the atomic bombs, you know.
Yeah.
So that ended the Asian war too.
Okay.
So then he went over there in 46.
Yeah, 46.
46, 40. He had to wait for me to grow up.
I went to
And how long have you guys been married?
74.
until it was all over,
74.
74 years.
I went to Clark Field on the Philippines.
Wow. So you had this relationship where you just letters back and forth.
Oh,
No,
well,
not back and forth. No, when you went someplace, that's where you
Yeah.
stayed.
we
Yeah.
corresponded.
That's what I meant. You guys
Yeah.
wrote letters.
When he was at A&M, they had a band, a stage band there, and he was first trumpeter, and I was the vocalist. I went and auditioned, and so that's how we met.
Do you
We
still
met.
play? Do you still play music?
You still play your trumpet? No.
No, I've given
He
it
tried.
away.
He's lost the embouchure, I think.
Yeah. But this is amazing. Such an amazing interview. And you guys now are residents of Huntsville, Texas.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. And this Harbor Museum is amazing, isn't it?
And we've been here 54 years now.
Yeah.
54 years.
Yeah, same house.
I got into politics and
That's right. You're a judge.
Judge.
You were
Yeah.
Were you the county judge up here?
Yes. He collects titles. He's Dr. Wagamon, Judge Wagamon, Lieutenant Colonel Wagamon, Daddy, and
Gonna be you now.
he's got 5 titles. I don't know what the other one is. We
But
kid him about it.
You're still the boss, though, right, ma'am?
yeah.
You
Does
keep
it
him
look
straight.
like it?
Yeah. Oh, I know you keep him straight. You guys are amazing. Thank
we
you
have
for
5 children.
wow, 5 children. How many grandchildren?
8, and then 4 great grandchildren.
Wow. When you were over there flying, was there many other fighter aircraft, German fighter aircraft that you were dealing
We
with?
had the Tuskegee Airmen flying fighter cover for us.
You're kidding me. The Tuskegee Airmen.
Tuskegee.
Did you interact with them? Did you know those guys?
Yeah, they were fun. They were flying P-47s.
So you were happy they were up there.
Absolutely.
So when you were down on the ground,
We,
when you were down on the ground, you probably bought them beers.
we knew that the Tuskegee was going to be up there.
That's
the
great.
co-pilot had a frequency where he could talk to those people out there flying the P-47s.
Wow. So they had your back.
They had your back, yeah.
That is an amazing story. Wow. And it was hard for those guys at that time. I mean, because of
absolutely.
segregation that was going on and everything.
They were based just a little bit south of us. I've forgotten the name of that place, but they had a funny way of coming into land. They would come down the runway and then pull up upside down and then come in to the runway.
That's amazing. Let's talk about your display here.
Okay.
Over to the your right. Talk to us about what's there.
Okay, this is the light which goes on your life preserver, the Mae West. So you get that out if you bail out over water, and you turn that on so they can find you at night.
How long did the batteries last on that?
It's a D battery, and you don't turn it on until you hear some airplane coming over.
Now,
so it's got a 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
If you just turn it on and let it go.
So that's your flak helmet right there.
The flak helmet.
Okay.
You only put that on when you go down the bomb run.
What are the other instruments there?
Okay, this is an air compass. I never learned how to use it. But when the war was over, I said, I gotta have one of those things. It's very, very expensive.
What's in that box over there, the blue box, right by the gloves? Right there. Yeah, that box right there. What is that?
I can't see that.
Over there by your gloves. It's
those are mittens. It looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an air medal.
Oh, open it up. Let's see your air medal. There you go. Why is that thing not opened up? That's amazing. That is amazing.
The only time anybody wore it was at Christmas time one time when it snowed and we didn't have school. So the kids got into my wartime and they made a snowman. And guess what they put on the snowman? The air medal.
That's great. Sir, I want to thank you for being on the Honor Cafe Hall of Heroes. It's an amazing story. It's such an honor to meet you and talk to you. And I'm really just intrigued that the history with flying with the Tuskegee Airmen, what you did as a bomber and surviving it all, getting back. And thank you for your service.
All right. Thank you very much for asking me.
I appreciate it, sir.
All right.